In this video, we are going to be talking about reflections. Reflections. And a reflection means like when you look in a mirror and you look at yourself, and here's our mirror, you see your reflection staring back at you. Excellent. And that's what we're talking about. Here is a beautiful picture of a reflection found in nature. So you can see that everything above this line right here and everything below this line right here is the same. This line is called the line of reflection. And that makes sense. So everything up here is the same as everything down here. We can think of this line of reflection as a mirror, because everything up here in the top section, up here in this top section, is reflected down below in the bottom section. And so the line of reflection right there acts as a mirror. If you've ever looked in a mirror, and I'm sure you have, to see that beautiful face of yours, you've probably noticed that your image is staring right back at you. So we can call this the shape and this the image. And it's not like if this was my mirror and I'm standing here looking toward it, it's not like my reflection is going to be facing away from me. It's not going to be facing the same direction as me. I would not be looking at the back of my own head if I'm looking in a mirror. I'm actually going to be looking at a reflection staring right back at me, more like this. And I'm going to be making eye contact with myself. So let's do an example. Let's say I have this shape. That's my shape. And my line of reflection is right here, so that's like looking into the mirror. What do you think my image is going to look like? Well, my image is going to look like this. It's going to be a reflection of the shape. Here's an example, another example. Let's say that I have a shape like this. Now, when you draw it, what are you going to use? I hope you said ruler. Yes, please use a ruler. So there's my shape, and here is my line of reflection. Now, what would my image look like? Well, if you think it's going to look like this, you're not quite right, because if you notice, both the shape and the image are kind of congruent. They're the same direction. They're facing the same way. So we'd actually have to draw the image a little bit differently. The way we would want to draw it is like this. That would be the proper way to draw the image, because now the shape and the image are kind of looking at each other, and that means that is a proper reflection. One other really important thing to know is that any vertex on this shape, so out of those four, if I join them with a matching vertex on the image, they will be the same distance away from the line of reflection. So let's take the bottom left vertex on the shape. It is 1, 2 dots away from the line of reflection. And its matching vertex on the image is 1, 2 dots away from the line of reflection. That means I've drawn that correctly. Here is another example. Let's say that I draw this shape. Oh yeah, that's a nice looking shape. All right. And let's say that we have a line of reflection right here. That's our line of reflection. Well, the image, what might that look like? Well, the image, if I did this for the image, is that correct? No, that's not correct. You know why? Because this isn't a reflection. Remember, if you're looking in a mirror, your mirror image needs to be looking right back at you. Notice how in this one, this kid is looking into the mirror and the mirror image, the image is looking right back at him. That's what we need to see. So if your image is not looking back at your shape, then you don't have a reflection. So here we go again with our shape on the right. The blue line is the line of reflection. And now I'm going to draw the image. So here we go. Now you might be saying, well done, Mr. S, you finally did it. You drew the proper image. Now you know what? I did draw a nice image, and it's a nice reflection, but there's something fishy going on. Now if you remember from a little bit earlier in the video, I said matching vertices on the shape and the image are always the same distance away from the line of reflection. So let's take this vertice right here. It's one space away from the line of reflection. And its matching vertice on the image is right there, and it is 2 lines away from the line of reflection, or 2 dots away from the line of reflection. I did something wrong. I drew my image too far away from the line of reflection. So I'm going to redo that. Alright, I'm going to give this another try. Now remember, when you do it, please make sure to use a ruler. Please. I don't want to send you back to do it again. There we go. Now I have my shape and my image. The reflection looks really good. And if I pick a vertex on the shape, let's pick this one. I am 2 spaces over from the line of reflection. And if I pick the matching vertex on the image right there, I am 2 spaces over. So the same distance away on the shape and the image from the line of reflection. That means I have done a great job. There's one more thing you need to know about when you draw reflections. You can use a really cool math tool called a Mira. This is a Mira. A Mira. And what you do when you use a Mira is you put the base of the Mira on the line of reflection, and then you can draw the image. Here's an example of somebody using a Mira, and you'll notice that they have their shape right here, it's that B. They put the base of the Mira on the line of reflection. That's really important, that the base of the Mira should go on the line of reflection. And then if you look through the Mira from the left-hand side, looking through this way, you can see the reflection. And now the person can draw the reflection perfectly. All right, that's the Mira, that's reflections. Have fun, and toodle-doo.